Hi! Today we're going to be reading Spaghetti and a Hot Dog Bun. And I know it sounds really strange, but I want you to think that things that are unique can be a good thing. I want you to also be thinking about character traits and what character traits are when we relate to some of these characters. Be thinking about comparing and contrasting them to your life, and also be thinking about what is the theme of this book. Okay, because we'll be touching on that at the very end. The delicious smell of breakfast filled the air as Lucy's grandpa handed her a plate. Lucy smeared ketchup on her toast. She turned to her grandpa and said, "Papagino." Harriet said she's never heard of ketchup on toast. Her family uses butter and jelly. So this would be a time where you can think, what do I put on my toast? And how come I put that on my toast? Do I do it because my parents eat it that way? Do I do it just because I like it like that because of my taste buds? So just be thinking about, how do you make your toast? It's okay. Not everyone likes the same thing, Lucy. It doesn't mean one person's right or wrong. We're all different. What a boring world it would be if we were all exactly alike. Do you remember what's really important? Papagino asked. What do I think he is going to say? Yes, Papa. Even if we are different from others on the outside, we all have a heart with feelings on the inside. This reminds me of the book that we read when we talked about filling each other's buckets. That's my girl. Remember, when you treat others with love and kindness, you are doing the right thing, Papagino replied. On the school bus, Lucy and her friend Harriet pulled out some paper and crayons. Sitting across from them was Ralph. As usual, Ralph sat alone, staring out the window. He looked over at them and rolled his eyes. Now be thinking about the character traits of Lucy and her friend Harriet, and their actions, their feelings, the things that are going on based on the illustration. And then look at Ralph. What character traits is Ralph perceived as or is? In the classroom, Lucy sat down near the teacher. Ralph carelessly hurried over and tripped on Lucy's foot. Before long, he was glaring at her. Sounds to me like Ralph did it accidentally, but then he decided to glare at her like it was her fault? I wonder why he's acting that way. What do you think? Ralph whispered, "Ugh, I can't see the book with this poodle in front of me." Lucy could hear him giggling behind her. Oh no, why did it have to be me, she wondered. So how is she feeling at this point in time? Add on to her character traits and think, is Ralph still acting the same way that he was acting before? Think of his actions, think of his feelings, think of the things that he's saying and doing. During lunch, Harriet shouted one of her silly jokes over the other children's voices. As the girls ate, their bellies shook with laughter. Look at the illustration. What do you notice about the title of the book and what was on the front cover based on this illustration? Across the table, Ralph hollered, "Yuck! That's the disgusting smell. Whoever heard of eating spaghetti in a hot dog bun?" Put yourself in her shoes. How would you feel? What would you do? What would be the right way to go about it if you were her? Is he behaving the correct way? Is he behaving the incorrect way? Again, think of character traits. Tony and the other children at the table turned away from Ralph, shaking their heads. Ralph continued, "Poor little Lucy with her hair so poofy." Tears filled Lucy's eyes, and she began to cry. On the way home, Lucy thought about what had happened. Maybe Ralph is mean to me because he thinks being different is bad. I wish he would stop teasing me. Make a prediction. What is he going to do with the crayon in his hand? Slowly, Lucy stepped off the bus. "How was your day?" Papagino asked. "Fine," she mumbled. Papa reached over and pulled a crayon out of her hair. "How did this happen?" he asked. Lucy didn't say a word. But you know that obviously Lucy knows how it got there. That night, as Papagino tucked Lucy into bed, he asked, "Is everything all right at school?" Lucy rolled over. He sat down and whispered, "Always remember, if something's not right, we can work on fixing it together." It's not that easy, thought Lucy. How do I stop Ralph from teasing me? How can he have a heart and be so mean? Lucy had a hard time falling asleep, worrying about what would happen tomorrow. She probably feels like not going back where? She probably doesn't really want to hang around Ralph or even be seen near him. The following day, Lucy was surprised to find Ralph leaving her alone. Until Lucy took the bag Ralph handed her. Inside were dog bones and a note that read, "Lucy, Lucy eats stinky food that puts us in a big bad mood. Lucy, Lucy, hair shaped like a cone. Here's a treat for you, a yummy dog bone." The beating of Lucy's heart was so loud she knew everyone around her could hear it. "Stop! It hurts my feelings when you do this, Ralph," Lucy said. "Please stop." Ralph turned and walked away. It was recess time and Lucy played alone. She didn't want to tell her teacher about Ralph. She was afraid of being a tattletale. Lucy wished Papagino was there to help. What should I do? She asked herself over and over. The bell rang as recess ended. Now pretend that you were sitting on the swing next to her at recess. What would be some advice that you would tell her to do? "Help!" cried a child off in the distance. Tony yelled, "Ralph got himself stuck at the top of the monkey bars. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen." "This is my chance. I'll go tell Ralph how mean he really is. M-E-A-N, mean." Lucy stomped off toward the monkey bars. She does look pretty upset. Look at her facial features. When she reached Ralph, Lucy paused. She looked him in the eye and said, "What you did was so mean." Standing before Ralph, Lucy could hear her papa's words. Ralph did have a heart with feelings. In that moment, Lucy decided what she would do. She saw tears in Ralph's eyes. He hesitated to move and whispered, "I'm scared." Lucy reached out and said, "Here, take my hand," and she helped him down. The two walked back to the classroom without saying a word. Tuck. He's screwing up my read aloud. As the bus pulled up to Lucy's stop, Ralph reached over and handed her a picture. Lucy was amazed by what she saw. "Thanks," she muttered softly. Things are starting to turn around, right? After she got off the bus, Lucy smiled and said, "Papa, there's this boy Ralph who was really mean to me. Today he was in trouble, and I helped him." Papagino hugged Lucy and replied, "That took a lot of courage. It wasn't the easiest thing to do. You chose to treat others the way you want to be treated. I'm so proud of you, Lucy." Now on this page, there's something very important. There is a message. There is a moral to this story. There is the theme. Can you find which sentence is stating that? You can point to it. You can say it out loud. As they walked home, she asked him what was for dinner. When Papagino said spaghetti, Lucy knew immediately what she would have for lunch the next day. Her favorite sandwich, spaghetti and a hot dog bun. So again, think about the theme that was on the previous page. How does that relate to your life? Where can it come into play? Where can you remember and do the things that she did? And take basically the high road is what we would call it, and be nice to those around you, even if they choose not to be nice to you. Okay, that is the end of the book.